the way I've understood it, this is a historical fiction?
It's historical fiction based on the true story of the Mirabelle sisters who were murdered after leading or joining into the revolution against Trujillo's dictatorship or Trujillo's regime. Yep.
Okay.
Reimagined by a young woman, Julia Alvarez, who had left that location just before they were murdered. And so she grew up with the legend of this is what happened in her country. She generates her own idea of what it might have been so that her experience, her feeling experience, is blended in with their factual history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious too, as this unfolds, I mean, this sounds like it's near the beginning stages.
We launch tomorrow, for the website anyway.
How would you hope that, I mean, the entire community, but specifically adults within the community, how do you hope that they would engage and connect with this project?
Well, what I really hope is that they would be able to go onto the website and just kind of look at what teens have been creating.
Okay.
And I think that a lot of times when that type of indirect communication happens, adults, I've noticed they tend to be surprised at what the product is that is being created. And this is just something that I've seen a lot with people. They tend to have this idea, especially if they know the teens fairly well, and then all of a sudden they are in high school and able to formulate fairly complex thoughts and ideas. And I think it's actually a pretty rewarding experience for a lot of adults to be able to see that.
Yeah.
And I wish that there was more of that. I think that would be a way to really close the loop. And then also, of course, I'd love for other teens to be looking at this work and forming their own community around that. But a community can't just have one age group.
Right.
So I think it is really important that the adults see that and understand that the teens are functioning at that level. And maybe with that understanding, not necessarily having a direct discussion about that, but with that understanding, they will be able to form closer relationships or have more informed conversations with them. That would be my hope.
Are the events being structured around that kind of, learning, or is there I know part of the launch would be great, however the city, can support, in terms of getting the word out about where the community can even go to, view or experience or interact with the different, student-created responses to the book. That would be great to know.
Well, we're having our web launch tomorrow, but there's going to be a date where Julia Alvarez, the author of the book, is actually going to come, and it's going to be paired with an exhibition of the art that people have created, and so that would be the time for people to come and gather and kind of discuss what they've seen, and of course talk to the author. That's very cool.
Starting tomorrow will be the online launch of Teen Arts Council is hosting the Voices United Bay Area project. It launches tomorrow, and by tomorrow you'll be able to find it at www.teenartscouncil.com, provided all goes well.
Yep.
What we're doing in the process, there are 4 facilitators working with right now 5 different schools. There's a school in San Jose, there's a school in East Palo Alto, 2 in Palo Alto, and 1 in San Francisco. Hopefully, it becomes something that any teen or any adult would feel like signing up for and wandering through, because it's going to be an online gallery of any number of individual media roads into their response. So we've got Betsy Franco at Gunn doing first-person narrative. We've got Bear Capron at Eastside right now doing video interpretation. And what I didn't know was Eastside has from 9th grade to 12th grade, they're all required to read the book. It's dense material, but it's part of the curriculum. Pally is being introduced to it via Lucy, and who teaches in English for honors, and then in English, I don't know what the...
Lucy Filker?
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know what the name of her class is? Humanities class. We're bringing in Mariana Osorio, who is married to Lane Pianta. She speaks Spanish, and so she's picking up the Spanish language and movement integration. And the TAC participates by drawing or giving feedback, by being an advisory board. They will then, once a week, go through and highlight something they want to give attention to. It is their job to give response to their peers. And then this firms up, and the capstone is definitely Julia face-to-face with this science fair kind of presentation. And my hope is that even though part of the NEA grant assignment is that there be community events for all of these different schools, that they want to reach out and make community, however they define that, in whichever way that they would like. So there are food events related to this. There are book clubs related to this now. And our hope is that we can host the center of the wheel and just give everybody their chance at being seen.
From the jumping off point.
Yes, yes.
You mentioned book club. I was going to ask if the Palta libraries have been involved, to the extent if there's increased awareness or more copies of the book at the least.
There are absolutely more copies of the book available, and that would be an incredible way to reach out to people. Write that down.
I'm going to remember.
I know. Oh, you know what? We've got it on tape. There it is.
I remember.
Yeah, let us know how we can help too. I mean, the great thing is the city's definitely it's integrated across departments.
That's great.
Is there anything, I know you have been so generous with your time. I'm looking at, this says we've had you for 30 minutes. Is there anything that we can do? Because the other place to close the gap is on youth confidence in its leaders outside of parents and school. And that's one thing that theaters do provide. It's one thing that sports clubs provide. It's one thing that art centers provide, is an intermediary mentor figure or mentor body. Is there something that we should know or could know about City Council?
There a couple things. One is, I think, just raising awareness about this, the whole series of activities and the time frame for it. There is a council meeting Monday. It would be great to just have a presentation in front of the City Council around this.
Cool.
So that the full City Council is aware of it. I know that the City Council always appreciates being invited to the event so they can come too and experience, and wherever you think is most appropriate. I think that the author interaction, I mean, if it's a culmination, I know that would be great for the City Council to know about.
We'd be honored. I know the theater would be honored.
It's really, it just sounds like such a great series of events that it's just great. It's just good for the entire community to know about. The City Council ideally is one platform for just announcing it to the community. All of the local papers usually cover City Council meetings, so that's something it's just good to know if one of the Teen Arts Council members or several would be willing to come up and present, then it's just good to be able to connect, the members directly with the local media to talk through this. And, part of it, not to put pressure on you directly, part of that's the business side of stuff.
Right, and in order to give arts expression, there's a mindfulness required from everyone about who to communicate with and how.
Yeah.
I needed that training, and these kids make me more savvy because it's easier for me to give myself permission to learn it if I'm doing it in somebody else's name.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's again a two-way street.
So if there's if that's of interest, then I know that would be great to help make connections and probably wonder.
You have been incredible.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
is great to learn about, really. And just more congratulations to you for bringing this together. And
Thank you.
Really, I'll think through what the different departments and how they might be able to get engaged. The library's an immediate one because it's a book.
Right, and bringing the literary word into Silicon Valley. Not that it's not here, but linking them, because there's no need to recreate the wheel.
Yeah.
But let's find out what the new overlaps are and how they can influence one another.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm a gun grads. I appreciate that you're
That's
willing to
neat.
even
And
interact
Ivy's
with
gun.
Yeah. Ivy and Ethan Housen.
Yes, and Laura Townsend.
A lot of our membership is from
From gun.
The
Yes.
open mics are most heavily supported by gun attendees.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
I hope.
An awesome business card holder already. That's
Thank
great.
you. I have a birthday present for my mother.
Wonderful. I know.
Yes, and then this is just, this is the thing, the kids design everything. So they
Yeah, cool.
redesigned my business card too.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I know the city has a new logo.
Yep.
I like it a lot, actually.
The new one?
Yeah.
I know, it definitely feels far more, it's just, you can tell it's a new logo.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff